What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the Ball Game Podcast. I'm the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I'm Trunks.
I'm Dean.
I'm Chris.
So today we're going to be giving you guys all of our final standing predictions and all of our final playoff predictions for the NFL season. As in just 2 days, this coming Thursday, the NFL kicks off once again.
What'd you say? Like in just 2 days?
Because I'm so horny for football.
Oh, man.
I am incredibly horny for football.
No, I'm so excited for Thursday night.
It's about to explode.
That's what I'm
so
saying,
many
bro.
things.
There's a lot of explosions coming.
Oh, yeah.
What I was
Everywhere.
saying was, so the way it works is there's 2 rooms. So I'm going to be working Thursday night. Unfortunately, I can't watch
he's missing
game.
the Thursday night game.
There's 2 rooms that I could be working in, and I'm working in the one with no TVs, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I'm going to have my phone propped up and watch the games in the back. I'm not going to be the best employee that day.
That's
but it's
okay.
It is what it is, man. I think
They have to understand.
They'll
Yeah.
understand. It's
Yeah.
Chiefs-Lions.
It's
man.
Chiefs-Lions.
Yeah.
It's going to be an exciting game. The last time we saw, well, not the last time, but remember when Jared Goff and Pat Mahomes went head-to-head in the regular season when it was Rams versus the Chiefs?
That was the last time they played each other?
goofball.
No, it wasn't. But I was saying, like, remember
That was
that? Do we
insane.
remember that
That was, like, the
primetime
greatest game ever.
Oh, my God. It was, like, literally the greatest
Yeah.
game I've ever watched.
It was a shootout, right? It was like 50-something to 50-something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super excited. The NFL is back in just 2 days, and, man, it's been way too long. Football is finally going to be back, and we just got to get through these next couple days, and
In fantasy.
we're back.
I'm so hyped to be checking my fantasy team every 3 seconds.
Yes,
hyped.
Every 3
yeah.
seconds.
But too stressed.
All
Too
18
stressed.
of my fucking fantasy.
Dude,
football.
Sundays are so stressful, dog. I'm watching Red Zone, being like, please get in the end zone, please get in. If the ball goes to anybody other than the guys on my fantasy team, I'm physically upset.
I
I'm
honestly think it's
sick.
bad for my health.
I'm
Honestly.
extending this
agree.
invite. I'm extending this invite. If y'all want to come over the first Sunday for football, you guys are welcome.
Everyone's
working.
invited.
I'm
Let's
working.
go.
Not the entire nearly five. Oh, speaking of the entire nearly 500 subscribers, we have 2 days to reach 500 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed and you are watching this, go subscribe.
2 days or
What are we
what?
at right now?
What's gonna happen?
We gotta hit
We
500
die.
subs,
Or
bro.
else-
Or else
What,
this is over. We're
we
done.
go-
We quit.
last episode.
We quit.
We
I don't know what we
retire.
do, but we hit
But,
300 and
We
I
have to do a
said,
group punishment.
What are we at right now?
I
we're
mean, wait.
480 on the dot, bro. 20 subs.
We can do that.
Bro, I said it when we hit 300. I said we're skipping 400. We're getting 500 before the NFL season.
We gotta put a
starts.
clip out
We
today.
are
Doing it.
so close. Yeah,
We're gonna do it.
Pump out some.
To
clips.
be
We're gonna-
fair, we have. I didn't think there was like much of a chance. We had like a month to get 200. So I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, given the track record of how like the subs were going, but recently we've kind of blown up.
We've been getting some love on a lot of our videos, and it's so cool. It's honestly really cool to just read comments and finally have feedback on what we're doing. And a lot of it's like very positive and
Yep.
just agreeing or disagreeing with literally the takes.
However
which
you
is nice
feel
to
about
see.
our takes, please do let us know. We don't mind.
You can
Even if
shit
it's-
on us,
even
too.
if it's all hate. Just
Yeah.
just come
I like
straight at
those.
us.
I like
for it,
those
so.
too.
Well, then we can
I
talk
do.
about
They're
it.
funny.
I enjoy exactly.
That's
can
kind of the
talk
point
about
of why we do this is to
Yeah.
discuss.
Get shit on.
Maybe we could start
takes.
featuring a comment an episode or something like that. If we see it,
I like
we
that.
See a
Featured
past comment.
featured
or something like
comment.
that. We feature a comment every
Yeah.
episode.
Okay.
so.
Nice little shout
Fan
out.
of the day.
Just
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
Yeah, give us a question or something.
There we
Something to
go.
get us talking.
There we go.
That's
There
a
was an idea. That
perfect
was off
idea.
the top of the head. There we go. So,
Heck yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
we have a little something for you. But you know what? Granted, very excited for the NFL season, but you know what? I'm even more excited for the return of one thing.
This is Ball Game Bets. All right, I'm excited for season 2 of Ball Game Bets, dog. It's been a long time. I still haven't done my punishment from the first one, but it's okay. We're using Thrive Fantasy this year. New app.
Hype.
The best app.
So shout out to our partners over at Thrive Fantasy. Use our code BallGamePod or click the link in the description to get a first-time deposit match up to $250. I have Jameer Gibbs. No,
Jesus. No. Nah.
the original script was not PG.
Guys, look, use that code for free money. Free $250 if you deposit $250. If you don't want to deposit $250, you deposit $50 and you get an extra $50. It's free fucking money.
Money to
It's-
fuel our gambling addictions.
Literally.
All of them.
Yeah.
But shout out to Thrive,
Ours,
man.
yours.
Before we give our picks, we were talking about our subscriber goal. Got to give a shout out to our boy O'Sleazy.
Yes.
Who's 216
Yes.
followers away from 4,000 on TikTok.
God.
Our
damn,
guy.
Please.
So follow O'Sleazy on TikTok for the best TikTok NBA content you will see on the platform.
Yo, he's hilarious.
Yeah, shout out our guy.
I love watching his TikToks when they pop up. I repost a lot of them too.
Bro.
He's hilarious.
Did you guys see the one about women's basketball?
Yes.
On Sleazy's
Yes.
TikTok? That shit was comedy.
I'm not on TikTok. What was it?
Oh, Sleazy.
Do I just have to go see it?
You gotta go
watch
see
it.
it.
Let's not.
You
All right.
just gotta go watch. it.
Understood. All
But-
right, so we're gonna start our Thrive.
Yeah, I
Thrive
mean,
bets?
I'll do
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay,
I'll be
I
the
was-
first one to go
okay,
here.
whatever.
Only because I have a Patrick Mahomes square that when you sign up, you automatically are given a free Patrick Mahomes square pretty much. Well, it's not free, but it's almost a guarantee that Pat Mahomes has at least one touchdown. I mean, well, no, a half a yard of the. Yeah, it's a guarantee, actually. I thought it was touchdowns
know.
at first. I thought it was touchdowns at first, but it's a half a yard. So it's half a total yard for Patrick Mahomes in terms of passing yards. And I'm taking that as my free square. These other three did not do that, unfortunately, but I'm taking advantage of that.
We didn't know the rules here, so
So after that, I'm taking Travis Kelce to go over 6.5 receptions, and I'm taking Jared Goff to go over 258.5 passing yards.
All right. So I have Kelsey getting over 6.5 receptions. Amon-Ra St. Brown to get over 77.5 receiving yards, and Jahmyr Gibbs to get over 73.5 total yards rushing and receiving. Should be fairly easy for all those guys.
I have Patrick Mahomes to go over 299.5 passing yards, David Montgomery to go over 49.5 rushing yards, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling going over 35.5 receiving yards.
And then the lock of the week. I have Patrick Mahomes sadly going under 320.5 total yards, passing and rushing yards. I think 320 is a lot. I know Pat Mahomes is the GOAT, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a grinded out game there in Kansas City. I have David Montgomery over 48.5 rushing yards, ground and pound David Monty. And then I have Jahmyr Gibbs under 38.5 rushing yards. I think he's going to be used as a receiver. Jamison Williams isn't playing. So I think he's going to get most of his work in the receiving game, not on the ground. That's my pick.
Solid.
Love it. I love Jahmyr.
And Ortiz starts out 0-1.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he starts off on
Yeah.
one.
And going forward, we're just going to do it for pretty much the Sunday games,
Yeah.
I guess, just like weekly. But, first game of the season. This is week 0.5, technically. But we had to get one out there. We've been itching to bet. Itching.
We definitely could consider doing a Thursday night.
We could.
Maybe we could
We'll,
consider.
we'll
it.
decide.
Oh, Sleazy. I don't know what my ball game bets record was last season, but it wasn't good.
Let's see if I still
lost.
have them.
I
Well, definitely do.
Okay, I lost the prize picks, but to be fair, okay, I was a little bit lazy last season, and I missed maybe like 4 of them. So 4 losses were not.
I think I had a positive in terms of how much money I made off of prize picks, but I didn't have a positive record, but I know I had a positive overall.
He also asked if we're going to any live football games this year. I would love
I'm
to.
Black
We're definitely
Friday.
gonna go.
Black
We
Friday.
might go Black Friday, Dolphins.
No,
Jets.
we
No,
made
we're
a
go- we're
bet
go-
about going.
Okay, we're going. We're going.
made a
Black
bet?
Friday, Dolphins, Jets,
did.
MetLife Stadium.
The bet is if the Dolphins win.
Joe Cruz,
Dean-
I don't want to hear your stupid talk. That's not nice.
What did he say?
He said you're trash.
So
You're
our,
trash.
Our
my
bet is
God.
we're going to be live in attendance at MetLife Stadium Black Friday. Jets Dolphins. If the Dolphins win, Dean buys me a Tua jersey. If the Jets win, I buy Dean a Quinnen Williams jersey or someone else if Quinnen Williams gets traded or something.
Might be like Tim Boyle or something. Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
But that's that.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I'm ready to go to that Black Friday game. I was considering going to week 1 Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But if any of you do end up going to any of the games that we say that we're going to end up going to, let us know. We'd love to meet up with some of you guys, hang out for a while and stuff like that. So-
Tailgate.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Sleazy says, let's go to a Commanders
Sorry,
game.
bro. We ain't
Let's
going to
Let's
Commanders
go to
game.
Washington to see Sam Howell, my glorious king.
Glorious.
Honestly, wait. How far? Like 5 hour drive?
It's a pretty
Probably something
drive,
like
yeah.
that.
Honestly, I would do it if it was like a 1 o'clock game.
Depends on who they're playing.
The Giants.
Then yes, I'll go.
Bro, they play them twice a year, so
I'll go.
they play them
I
once.
just
there.
forget when they play in Washington, but regardless, I would go to that game. So I think it'd be.
Oh, man.
But
Sam
we-
Howell live.
Danny
bro. I
Dimes-
Sam
wouldn't be
Howell
able to-
live meeting up with O'Sleazy. That's like the
Bro,
greatest
that'd
thing
be
you could even
crazy.
I
Danny
think
wouldn't
about.
be able to
Dimes.
contain myself.
owns the goddamn Commanders, so it's okay. We'd win. I know we'd win. So I trust that if we go, I'll be happy. But anyways, why not just start off and get right into this stuff? We're not going to start with the NFC East because it's too interesting of a division, in my opinion. So our final standings predictions, and we'll start off with the AFC South. So I'll start off. I have the Texans in last place at 3-14. I have the Colts in third place, also at 3-14. I have the Titans in second place at 8-9, and I have the Jaguars in first place at 10-7.
I'm surprised you have the Texans with only 3 wins. I know you were high on the Texans when we did our AFC South was the first division preview we did actually. So that was like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, it was.
So obviously things change, but I know you were higher on the Texans than all of us.
I was, but after looking through the schedules,
I was about to say, let's
I went through schedules, but I was optimistic when I was
Yeah.
going through schedules. But when I have to do it right in front of me, where I'm picking wins for other teams as well,
That's what I was about to say. Let's tell them how we did this. We went on this website called nextplayoffpredictors.com.
Yep.
And basically, we went through the entire season for every team and picked a winner for every single game. So the predictions that we made in the offseason, they might be a little different than what we actually made
some of them
now.
are very.
Because now they're
'Cause
actually
now
laid
we're-
out by game. Like we picked
Yeah.
the actual games.
Shout
that are
out to the
happening.
website, by the way. If
And
you guys want to
also-
do that, go use that website.
Also, what's your cousin's name? Mike or Matt? Holzer?
Mike Holzer.
He's in the chat. What's up, Mike?
Michael,
Holzer?
yeah, Michael
He says what's
Holzer.
up.
Shout out to my cousin.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that we're doing this game by game, wins, losses, they're fluctuating
Makes a
based off our
massive
predictions. Yeah, so
Makes a massive difference.
like for me, I'll say mine right now. I have the Texans win more games than I initially thought. Last place, I have the Colts at 4-13. Third place, the Texans at 6-11. Second place, the Titans at 9-8. First place, the Jags at 11-6.
okay,
Damn. Now I feel like mine's a little high for one of them.
That's all right.
go ahead. Shoot.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So I have the Texans at 4-13, the Titans at 7-10, the Colts at 7-10, and then I have the Jags at 13-4.
Wow.
I think the
Okay.
Jags have a huge season, and I also think the Colts end up not being as bad as people think they are. Obviously, 7-10 is not a good record, but people are expecting them to have like under 5 wins.
Yeah.
So
I originally had the Titans winning more games.
I did
before doing
too.
this,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, me too.
So when we did our AFC South, that was before D-Hop signed. So disclaimer, if you guys watched that, it was before D-Hop signed.
I had them at
and
7
also,
and 10. Yeah.
I was defending the
8-9
Colts. I
now.
think it was me and you, Dean, who were saying the Colts were going to win more games.
No, I was too.
In last
too.
place, I have the Colts at 4-13.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's just the way it went. I have the Texans in third at 6-11. I have the Titans in second at 7-10, and I have the Jaguars in first at a calm 12-5.
I really thought that we collectively would have the Titans with a better record.
I wanted to give the Titans more wins. I just didn't
I mean, I gave them 9.
didn't have them.
I had 8. Yeah, I mean,
I could
just-
see the Titans getting to 9 wins. I could, 10's a stretch, but I could see them getting to 9 easily.
Is there a team in? I'll ask this question: is there a team in this division that you think can smoke your expectations for them?
The Titans.
It would be the Titans.
Titans. Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean,
high-
I have them at 9. I don't think it'd be smoking my prediction if
I already
they won.
have pretty high expectations for the Jaguars already. The Colts, I just don't see it happening with the rookie quarterback
No.
and Jonathan Taylor being a big old question mark.
Yeah,
The Texans, I still think, are just too young. So the only team there left is the Titans to really be able to exceed expectations.
There's definitely a world where the Titans win the division. Like,
agreed.
that world
100%.
exists.
They're always solid. They're
Yeah,
always a
they
solid
have
football
great
team.
coaching. They have the king.
Yep.
You know, they have some young pieces on defense who are improving. Hopefully, a healthy D line with Jeffrey Simmons and Harold Landry.
Adding Hop makes
And,
the
right,
whole pecking order a lot more
Yeah.
simple for these guys.
Right, you add DeAndre Hopkins, that's a guy who's only going to help your team. So yeah, the Titans could not easily, but the Titans could definitely shock the world and win the division.
So everyone had the
Same order.
Jags above 10 wins. I was the only one that had them at 10 exactly. So
I was at 11.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the schedule is favorable for them. You give Trevor Lawrence an elite weapon in Calvin Ridley, another team with a young defense who you hopefully expect to take another step forward. So there's no reason they win less than 10 games.
yeah, I don't.
It'll be a
feel
major
good.
disappointment if they win less than 10 games.
I don't feel good about my Texans prediction at all. I think 3-14, especially because I was the highest on with them. Like prior to all of this, I don't feel good about it. I like the team. I think they're better than this record suggests. It was just so difficult, as I said, when I was picking teams in some of these games, it was so hard for me to like hand this team a loss in this situation. Like, I know damn well I'm going to be wrong on like more than half of these games. So given that fact, I think like the Texans are going to win some games that obviously I looked at it and I was like, oh, like this is a pick 'em, it's close, but just because this team is the better roster, I'm going to pick them. So I know the Texans are going to win some of those games. But I don't know. When I was statting all this stuff out, like I was just like, this is tough. But
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's football. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Like our fucking record predictions don't mean shit.
We're all gonna be wrong anyway.
Yeah,
so
no.
it's all right.
As long as
They're
we
just
get,
predictions.
As long as we get most to the top and most of the
Yeah.
bottom teams right, I think we'll be all right. We'll sound
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, Slizzy, we talked about Colorado in the last episode. I think towards the beginning. I think it was
did.
one of the first things we talked about.
It was, yeah. It was within probably the first 10 minutes of that podcast.
Yeah, if you wanted to check that out real quick.
Okay, so we'll stay in the South, and we'll go over to the NFC. We'll go to the NFC South, and in last place in the NFC South for me, I had the 5-12 Buccaneers. In third place, I had the 6-11 Panthers. In second place, I had the 9-8 Saints, and in first place, I had the 10-7 Falcons.
So there's another situation where I had the Saints winning more games earlier than now that I just actually did it all out here. But in last place, I have the Panthers at 5-12. Third place, tied with them, the Bucks at 5-12. Second place, the Saints at 6-11, and first place, the Falcons at 9-8.
Wow, this is a shit division for you.
Yeah, I didn't like that I had the Saints at only 6 wins, but it's how it played out.
Yeah, Dean, what you got?
So, sorry, Baker. I'm so sorry. I pulled for you so hard.
Did you make a bet?
What was my
You
bet?
bet on it.
I don't know.
What did we bet? It's probably somewhere.
I sent
Was
you
it
all the
was it
bets.
individual stats or Buccaneers?
No, it was Buccaneers wins.
Okay.
Bucks over 6.5 wins. You have
Okay.
$50 on it.
Well, I have the Bucks going 3-14. I have the Bucks
That
going
was with
3
me,
and
right?
14.
That was with me.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
I put $50 on that.
You did.
Wow. That's
So
crazy.
7 wins for the Bucks.
I could see it.
Well,
I could see it,
see it.
but
But for now, they're at 3 wins. And then at third place, I have the Panthers going 6-11. Then I have the Saints going 7-10, and the Falcons going 9-8, winning the division.
So in last place, I also have the Buccaneers 4-13. It's going to be a struggle bus for them. Don't trust Baker. In third place, I have the Panthers at a calm 7-10. I was surprised to see I gave the Panthers that many wins, but I like what another team, young defense, improving offensive line. I think Bryce Young's going to be more than serviceable in his rookie year, so I gave them 7 wins. In second, I have the Saints at 8-9, and then this might be a stretch, but this is just the way it played out. In first place, I have the Falcons at 11-6.
okay.
I found 11 wins for the Falcons. I was, as high as I am on the Falcons, I was surprised to see that I had them winning 11 games. Yeah,
I had them at 10. I don't think it's crazy.
yeah, for you guys who haven't used this website to do your predictions, it's not going team by team. It's going week by week,
Yes.
and you're doing the whole schedule. So it's not like I just went through the Falcons schedule one at a time. We went through the whole NFL schedule 1 week at a time, and that was just the way it played out for me. I gave the Falcons 11 wins.
Also, shout out to this website for giving us the little indications below it, when they're coming off of a bye week, when they're coming off of an extended
Yes.
week, in terms of if they played on Thursday Night Football the week prior and
That's
stuff
what
like
those
that.
symbols were.
Yeah.
If you went to the bottom, it had the
said
whole.
no.
It had the key. It
so
had the key
confused.
at the bottom,
This
and it
guy.
told you. And honestly, that made a big change in how I pick some of these games.
I also think on this website you could create a pool. So I think
Yeah.
if we go back, we could put
a ball game
everything
pool.
in a pool and then
Have them
see
join
how we
too.
do compared to each
Yeah.
other. We don't have to put a punishment on that. I'm
So-
done with the punishments.
So I had more. So when I was first doing it, I had the Falcons actually winning more than 9 games. But then I saw the record that they came out with, and I wasn't comfortable with it, and I ended up changing it at the end. I don't know if that's cheating.
What did you
or not.
originally
No, it's
have
not
them
cheating.
with?
I changed.
No, I
some
did this.
teams.
I did this
Yeah.
I think
twice.
I think
Yeah,
I
did
had
this
I think I had 11 wins for the Falcons originally, and I felt like it was too high, so I ended up giving I think I gave the Panthers another win. I think I gave the Saints another win because the Saints had 6 wins originally. I'm like they got to win at least one more game.
Yeah.
Took one away from the Falcons, so that's the only thing I did, and I feel a lot better at 9-8. I don't know. I just feel like they're not an 11-win team.
No, I did that for some teams too.
I mean, you
so
guys know how
it's not
I
cheating.
feel about the Falcons. I think the offense is going to be explosive in the run game. I think the pass catching weapons have really good years, and and provide exactly what the offense needs. I think Desmond Ritter will be fine. Obviously, a top 5.
Riddler.
Obviously, a top 5 to 10 offensive line unit in the league, arguably the best in terms of run blocking.
Yep.
And then I think the defense is better than people give it credit for. I think A.J. Terrell has a bounce back here. I think Jesse Bates is a huge addition. I know people don't think safeties are that valuable, but I think Jesse Bates is arguably the best in the game, if not second best in terms of a high free safety and coverage, not one of those in the box safeties. Probably I'd only take Minka over him.
Calais Campbell.
Right, Calais
Another big
Campbell.
addition.
Every defense Calais Campbell touches fucking becomes good. You added David Onyemata too,
Yep.
so I expect the defensive line. You added Bud Dupree too, who's not great, but he could at least give you something.
He's a
off the edge.
rotational guy.
Right.
Yes.
And I've said it multiple times on this podcast. I'm super high on Arnold Ebiketie. I think he has a true breakout year. He's the key for the defense. If he produces off the edge for them, then this defense can be, a top 15, maybe even top 10 unit. If Arnold Ebiketie doesn't produce and their edge rush struggles, then this could be a bottom 5 defense.
Isn't Jeff Okuda going to miss the rest of the season? I saw something
I don't know
with
if it's
Okuda.
the
I
full
forgot
season,
what it was.
but he's definitely starting the season hurt, which definitely
Hurts a little bit, but I wonder who their second corner is now. That's my one question. But
It might be the rookie. What's his name? Clark Phillips.
yes, that probably is going to be the second corner. AJ Terrell will be great this
No,
season.
this,
I do.
oh
I
wait, that's a
believe.
month ago.
But overall, I had the Falcons at 10-7. I originally didn't feel great about the Saints. After looking at the preseason and how good Derek Carr looked, I was like, okay, this team might be a lot better than I originally thought.
I don't think it's about their offense. I don't think their offense is a problem. It's their defense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I get that. That's why I had them at 9-8, because I don't think their defense is going to hold up. I think their offense is going to be great, actually. I think Derek Carr is going to be phenomenal this season. But
the problem.
So Okuda's possibly gonna miss week 1.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
what? I don't know
He's
where.
most
I saw
likely
it.
gonna miss week 1, but
So he
he'll be
misses
back.
a week. Okay.
Maybe 2. Yeah.
I
He'll be back.
forgot what the injury was. I don't know why I thought
Think
it
an
was back.
ankle.
It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, I think the one team that could just shatter my expectations is the Panthers. I think there's potential for the Panthers to be a 9-8 or 10-7 team this year. I really think they could be that good with a division this wide open. So I think they're an interesting team, and I think Bryce Young, as you said, steps in and is going to be an immediately competent, if at bare minimum, quarterback. So
Yeah.
but yeah, all right. So we'll move on. We'll go to the AFC West. So, for my last place team in the AFC West, I had the 2-15 Las Vegas Raiders.
That's crazy.
I didn't like that at all after looking back at it. I know they're going to win more games than that, but it's how it fell for me. In third place, I have the 9-8 Broncos. In second place, I have the 12-5 Kansas City Chiefs. And in first place, I have the 13-4 Los Angeles Chargers. Wow. I said that I was going to be high on the Chargers. I picked Justin Herbert as my MVP, and I said at bare minimum they would have 12 wins. That's what requires an MVP trophy. So I had to do what I said I would do. And there we go, 13-4 Los Angeles Chargers in first place.
I agree with you, honestly. But I have the Raiders at 5-12 in last place, the Broncos at 8-9 in third, the Chargers at 13-4 in second, and the Chiefs at 14-3 in first.
Wow.
Damn.
So I had the same thing for my bottom two. I had the Raiders at 5-12, Broncos at 8-9. I had the Chargers at 11-6, making the playoffs, and then I had the Kansas City Chiefs at 12-5, winning the division.
So I have essentially the same thing. I have the Raiders in last at 4-13. I also have the Broncos at 8-9 in third. I have the Chargers at 11-6, also making the playoffs at 11-6. And then in first place, it got to be the Chiefs. I have them at 13-4. The Chris Jones stuff is definitely a concern.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
huge concern. Like, massive concern. But, I feel about Pat Mahomes the way we felt about Brady for all those years. I'm not going to bet against that guy,
Man.
aside from my
Yeah.
Thrive Fantasy picks, where I took his under.
Where you literally bet against him.
So I'll say this. I only had the Chiefs at 12-5 because I was afraid of the Chris Jones situation to start the season. So I had them kind of starting the season off a little slow. I think I had them at like 2-3 or something like that. And then after that, they went on an absolute tear for me. But I had them at 12-5. I still have them making the playoffs, obviously. But I just thought the Chargers were maybe a game better. And, I mean, I had the Chiefs at 5-1 in the division, too, nonetheless. So I think they just dominate the division for the most part, as they consistently do. And then the Broncos. This is a team that I want to talk about a little bit because I don't know where they're going to end up. I could see them winning 11 games somehow. I could see them winning 6.
So when I did this the first time over the weekend, when I sent you guys this link, I had the Broncos at 3-14. That's just the way it went. I was like, wow, like when I go back and do this for the podcast, I have to give them more wins.
Yeah.
I don't know how I came up with 5 extra wins for them. That's just the way it went. But the first time I went through this, I was like, holy shit, like the Broncos
crazy.
aren't going to win games. So I couldn't find wins for them. But when I went back, I found more wins for them, especially at home. Playing in Denver, that's always an advantage with the altitude. So I definitely gave them some home games. I have them going 6-3 at home. So the Denver altitude is definitely going to help them. But they're just such a tough team to predict, man. Jerry Jeudy starting the season hurt definitely.
So what is it? You don't see their defense working out? Russell Wilson coaching? What is it?
The offense, I think, just has so many question marks after what happened last
Jeudy being
year.
out, too, nonetheless.
Yeah, I just think that, Javonte coming off the injury, Russell Wilson coming off the worst year of his career. Sean Payton, yes, he's historically great, but he just took a year off from coaching. What's the scheme going to be like with Sean Payton there? It's just their range of outcomes is so huge.
Yeah.
Right. In theory, it should be night and day between Nathaniel Hackett and Sean Payton. Nathaniel Hackett was historically bad as a head coach.
The thing is, though, it's just installing a brand new system, too, which isn't always the easiest thing.
Right.
So that's why, like, typically with a new head coach, you'll see these, like, big jumps in the second year. Because when a guy gets acclimated to a second year, to a system in their second year, it's completely different than it is for the first. But
Especially
I'm willing,
because for us, it's the second system change in 2 years.
Yes.
Going from Seattle to the Hackett
But
system.
I'm willing to bet on that guy being smart enough, given that he's been in the league for this long and how intelligent he is football-wise. I'm willing to bet that Russell Wilson will figure it out. But I don't think he's going to figure it out enough to them making the playoffs. I
think the 8-9 win range for them is probably just about right.
Yes.
I agree.
But the whole thing could implode and they could win 4 games.
Yeah.
But I think they could also go over it.
Yeah, I was about to say, or Cortland Sutton's back being a fucking baller. Jerry Jeudy gets back healthy and they're just rolling because that defense is talented. That defense is very talented. So
Pick a side. Me said in the chat to respect his Raiders. It's hard to respect them,
There's
man.
just no
15,
respect, bro.
bro.
I'm sorry. There's nothing I could do.
I gave
for
him
you.
5.
oh, I couldn't.
5 is enough respect. That's respect
2-15
enough.
was not fair,
That's
and I
not.
know that's wrong. I know it's wrong, but I just couldn't find more wins for them. I tried so hard, I just couldn't find more wins for them. It is disrespect to the Raiders. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Raiders. But anyways, we'll move over to the NFC West, where I have in last place the 0-17 Arizona Cardinals.
I found that kind of crazy.
So, did you see that Kyler actually is probably going to suit up this season?
Yes, that'll change
yeah.
things. But I just think they'll be so far out of it that they're not going to put the guy in. The only reason I could see them putting him in, and I'll say this now, they're going to trade him because they're most likely going to end up with the first overall pick one way or another, whether that's by trade because they have 2 top 5 picks between them and the Texans, or whether that's by, they end up with the first overall pick because they're bad enough or the Texans are bad enough. I don't know which way it's going to fall, but they're going to end up with the first overall pick. And if you end up with the first overall pick, you're not picking Kyler Murray over Caleb Williams. You're not. Nobody is. It's over. Caleb is that number 1 guy. We could just chalk it up. It's done.
Talent aside, I mean, a guy on a rookie deal versus you're paying Kyler how much money?
Yes, exactly. So Kyler will get traded, and the only reason I could see him being played is to boost his trade value. That's it. And I don't even know if I do that.
Even at that point, right? Is it even worth it?
Might lower it, if anything.
So, yeah, I mean, coming off the ACL, but I don't know. I had them at 0-17.
Well, don't they owe him more guaranteed money
Yes.
if he plays this year? Yeah. So they're, it
Might just keep him on
sucks
So-
for him. Definitely sucks for him, but it's a business. So if there's a way where they could get around paying him the guaranteed money, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
When they know he's going to be gone anyway.
Without Kyler, like they are just offloading everybody. They're trading everyone. They traded Isaiah Simmons for nothing. They traded the tackle. What's his name? Josh Jones, is it?
Yes.
I think they traded him for almost nothing when he was a very competent tackle last season. And then obviously you're talking about guys like Budda Baker, who are probably going to get traded at some point. Hollywood Brown, who's probably going to get traded at some point. And there's just not much talent anywhere else on this roster. So I don't know. I don't see it. I could obviously see them getting a couple wins, but I don't think there's any more than 2-15 in this team, especially with the speech that Jonathan Gannon gave. So I think I'm all done here with the Cardinals. It's 0-17 for me. In third place, I originally thought higher of this team, but after going through it, I have the Rams at 6-11. In second place, I have the Seattle Seahawks at 10-7. And in first place, I have the 11-6 49ers, who I think start off the season slow because of a Nick Bosa holdout. But then they realize how important he is to the team, and they pay him. He comes back, and they go on a roll.
Isn't George Kittle also injured?
I think he's ready for week 1.
Is
I
he?
think he's
I think they could get through injury on offense, but they can't go through not having Nick Bosa. That's just too simple.
So I have the Cardinals at 2-15. I have the Rams at 3-14. I didn't really feel good about that. Wanted to give them like another 2 wins maybe, but couldn't really find them there. Had the Seahawks in second at 9-8, and the 49ers in first at 13-4.
Okay, Dean, what you got?
So I have the Cardinals at 3-14 in last place. The Rams also at 3-14, which, looking back now, I feel like I could have found them maybe a couple more wins. The Seahawks I have at 9-8, and then the 49ers I have at 12-5. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
So in last place, I have the Los Angeles Rams at 2-15.
Damn.
I also have the Cardinals at 2-15, but the Cardinals' 2 wins were within the division, probably over the Rams. But that's just how it went for me. The Rams suck. I think 6 wins for the Rams is nuts. Their roster fucking sucks outside of 3 players. And yes, those 3 players are the elite of the elite, but they suck. They're just as bad as the Cardinals. They just have, more star power. But overall, the rosters, they're terrible. So
their overall roster is not as bad as the Cardinals. It's not. And the
I think
best
it's just
players
not
on
as
that
bad
team,
because of the best players.
Yes, exactly, but that matters. I don't know what happens with Cooper Kupp. I really have no idea. I would like to think he stays healthy, but he probably won't be. I mean, especially with the hamstring.
So I'm talking about they only have 3 players. One of those players is already hurt.
Yeah.
Are we gonna expect Matt Stafford to play the full season?
Yes, true. And then you might even end up trading Aaron Donald for all we fucking know.
I think
that guy wants out.
I think the Rams freaking stink. So I have both of them going 2-15.
Going back, I might change things, but
In second place, I have the San Francisco 49ers at 11-6. And then in first place, I have the Seattle Seahawks at 12-5.
Wow.
I'm happy that when I did this, I still had the Seahawks winning more games than the 49ers because that was my original pick that the Seahawks would win the division. I didn't have to go back and change anything and force wins for them to make sure they do it. Just the way it unfolded, I had the Seahawks winning one more game than them. So I think the Seahawks are going to be elite, man.
I like
I
the
agree.
Seahawks, yeah.
I agree. I think the playoffs, they're dangerous. That is where I think it all happens. But
I think this offense is so freaking good, man. You have the 2 young tackles, hopefully taking a jump. You should have an elite run game just because it's Pete Carroll coaching, but you also have Charbonnet and Ken Walker, and then the receivers are elite. I expect Geno to continue everything he did last year, and this offense to be a top 5 to 7 unit in the league. And then the defense, you have pieces there. The linebackers got better. You brought Bobby Wagner back. You drafted Devon Witherspoon to put alongside
Jamal
Tariq
Adams
Woolen.
still.
Jamal Adams is still there.
whatever they get out of him,
Right.
by the way, if it's 100 plays and they're solid enough 100 plays, you're happy with that at this point.
The
Because
thing
he just
about
hasn't been healthy.
Jamal Adams is he helps with this team's weakness. Yes, Jamal Adams has his shortcomings, but what is Jamal Adams good at? Blitzing and getting pressure.
Yep.
Where do the Seahawks struggle? Edge pressure. So Jamal Adams, if he's healthy, is going to play a very significant role for
He'll play
this
a
team.
ton of box linebacker, I expect. That's the thing. So sub-package linebacker, all that. I'm excited for the Seahawks. I only had them at 10-7, but I felt like I could have given them 2 games that I didn't give them looking back at it. So I was just like, you know what? This is how it'll fall. I could see them being 11-6. I could see them being 12-5 and winning the division. Actually, the final game of the season, I'm pretty sure they play the 49ers. If I double check that. And I ended up picking the Niners in what was a divisional game, pretty much. Like, this was for the division. So I ended up picking the Niners, didn't feel good about it, was thinking about the Seahawks. If I flipped that, I wouldn't feel any differently about this stuff. I think the Seahawks are that good. So, but yeah, I think you guys at 9 wins. I just feel like 9 and 10 is a big difference. I don't know why.
No,
it just feels.
I mean, it's
It is
one game difference.
I mean,
just
I
feels-
wanted to give them more wins.
The double
but I
digit
don't know.
win thing
Yes,
definitely
yeah,
does
it
something
feels
to your
different.
It does.
psyche. Yeah.
It feels a little different, but I don't know. The Rams 6-11. If I went back at it, I would probably give them less thinking about it now. Stafford's probably not going to make it through the whole season. Cooper Kupp is already injured. Aaron Donald may fucking get traded for all we know. And what does an Aaron Donald trade look like? But
I don't think it's as crazy as you think it is.
no, it's a first probably, and that's it.
He was about to retire, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's
Like-
but that's
Well,
what
that's
I'm saying.
kind of the idea.
It's a first, and that's it. That's what I would say.
Let's say you trade for Aaron Donald and like he just ends up hitting wherever he goes. He could just literally just say peace and retire, and that'll be it.
Yeah, but I think that's the point of what the Rams would do for him. They wouldn't so much focus on what they're getting back, which maybe they don't get a first.
Yeah, I don't think they would trade him unless
He's happy.
he's
with it.
happy
Yes.
with the trade and
Yeah.
he's gonna play. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
that's the thing. I
And
think
only a
they
good
would
team
do,
would make that trade.
Yeah, exactly. They would do right by Aaron Donald if they
Send
were
him
to
to the
trade him.
Chiefs.
That I know for sure. That would be insane.
Replace Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Or pair them up. that would
crazy.
be
No,
crazy.
that wouldn't be fair.
That
can't
would
do that.
be
They can't do
And
that.
they
crazy.
can.
Oh my god! I would
The
love to see
Jets.
that. I would love to see that. Quinnen Williams and Aaron Donald.
Imagine.
Oh
There were a
my
lot of
God.
people asking for Nick Bosa on the Jets, and I'm just like, they're not trading all that for Nick Bosa. And then paying him. It's just not
That is
feasible.
that is a trade that would cost a whole lot
Yeah.
of
They have
assets.
more. They have more needs at the moment.
That would cost a whole lot of assets.
Yeah, but you guys probably have the assets to do it.
They definitely have the. I
Give
ju-
up some of the young edge rushers and then some picks, and then you still have that rotate. You have so many guys that you still have that pass
Rotation,
rush
yeah.
by committee, but now you have Nick Bosa leading. That's insane.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be
You probably
insane.
trade Carl Lawson. You probably trade Will McDonald.
Yeah. and-
few
Oh
picks.
my god,
Yeah.
easily. And you're definitely you have to give up a first and
Yeah.
probably a second.
Which I
And
would do
mean,
that in a heartbeat.
Do it in a heartbeat.
It's so worth it.
It's freaking Nick
It's
Bosa.
so worth it. All right, we'll stay in the NFC. We'll go to the NFC North. I'm going to start off with my last place team, the 4-13 Chicago Bears. After that, I have the 7-10 Minnesota Vikings. I have the 8-9 Green Bay Packers, and in first place, a team that I was super high on that I just didn't find enough wins for. I had the 9-8 Detroit Lions
Interesting.
in first place.
So in last place for me, I had the 4-13 Bears. Third place, the 5-12 Packers. Second place, the 7-10 Vikings. And in first, the team that I wasn't as high on, but I found way more wins than he did, the 12-5 Lions.
5 wins for the Packers is
5 wins for the
nuts.
Packers is wild. Their roster
They have a good
alone-
roster.
Their roster alone.
I didn't feel good about it after I did it.
Jordan
but
Love does not have to do much for them to win that many games.
Yeah, that's why I had them at 8-9. I just don't know with Jordan Love. Go ahead, Dean.
So I have the Bears at 7-10 in last place, which is crazy. 7
7-10 in last is
the Vikings going 7-10, coming in third. The Packers going 9-8, and then the Detroit Lions finish at 12-5 with a 6-0 divisional record.
Wow.
the lowest on the Lions on this podcast. That's crazy.
So in last place, I have the Bears at 5-12. I have the Vikings at 7-10. In second place, the Packers at a calm 9-8. And then in first place, I have the Detroit Lions at 10-7.
Wow. Yeah, okay, so I could see the Packers winning the division. That's first and foremost. I just think I don't know what Jordan Love is yet. If Jordan Love is good, I think they could be 11-6. If Jordan Love is bad, I still think this roster is good enough to at least give them 6 wins. Outside of that, I don't know how I feel about the Chicago Bears. I had them at 4-13. Didn't Tevin Jenkins get hurt? Or one of their offensive tackles? I believe he might be missing. If not a few games, he might be missing the whole season. I don't know what to expect from Justin Fields.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
what
wish
to
I gave
expect.
them more than 4 wins. But
Me
like,
too. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I feel like
This division.
the media and everybody's hyping up Justin Fields to be. I know he had a good stretch of the season last year. I know he looked like he improved. But am I willing to really trust Justin Fields to throw the ball like that? No, not really, honestly. Do I trust the coaching in Chicago to develop him like that? No, I don't, honestly.
Who is it? Eberflus? Is it Matt Eberflus?
forget their names.
I think it is Matt Eberflus there. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But continue.
No, I mean, obviously we know what Justin Fields is as a rusher. The offense looks good on paper, but even their defense is like shaky. I don't know. I just don't trust the Bears like that. I gave them 7 wins, but they're still coming in last.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 7 wins in last, but yeah, Matt Eberflus is. I was right. Okay. But it is kind of wild. 7-10. I think 7 is a lot of wins for the Bears in the first place, and then also being in last place at 7-10 is kind of crazy.
I don't know how that happened.
The
but
Vikings are the team that like I honestly feel very confident will be below 500 this season.
I don't know, bro. You see Kirk Stash? He's winning MVP.
Bro, it sucks because I said
He's
that
going
Kirk is gonna. I
crazy.
said that Kirk is gonna lead the league in passing yards.
Yeah.
And I believe that. But their defense is
bad.
so goddamn bad,
Yeah.
bro. Like so bad. Like, granted, they still have Daniil Hunter. They signed Marcus Davenport. I get all that, but they lost Dalvin Tomlinson. They lost Patrick Peterson. Like, bro, what's their secondary looking like right now? Like, Harrison Smith is still there, sure, but he's aged.
Harrison Smith, bro.
Harrison Smith
that
is
man's
aged,
old.
man.
Their defense was already bad last season.
Oh man.
Like, I expect them to be half decent and be competitive in almost every single game. But last year, we saw them get incredibly lucky in these one-score games.
yeah.
And it's not out of the realm of possibility that luck just completely flips.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough with the Vikings, but that's simply how I feel about them. All right. We'll move on to the AFC North now. All right. In last place, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy for me too.
At 10-7, I have the Cleveland Browns.
Imagine winning 10 games and coming in last.
In third place, at 11-6, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. In second place, at 12-5, I have the Cincinnati Bengals, and in first place at 13-4, I have the Baltimore Ravens.
In last place at 9-8, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. In third place at 9-8, I have the Cleveland Browns. In second place at 11-6, I have the Ravens, and in first place, I have the Bengals at 14-3.
Wow. So in last place I have the 8-9 Steelers. Third place I have 9-8 Baltimore Ravens. In second place, the Browns are going 11-6, and in first place, the 13-4 Cincinnati Bengals.
A little low on the Ravens, man.
That's crazy.
low.
That's
your offensive
insane.
player of the year.
And your favorite rookie in the entire league.
That has see when you put it like that.
And a
No,
great
it's just the
defense,
way
top
it's just the way it's shaped up, and I don't even like the Browns at all.
seven.
Actually,
I honestly hate them.
I do. Nah, if I could flip them, I would.
So I think based on all of our predictions, because I'm going to give mine in a second, but I think this is the best division in football.
It is, by far.
Yeah.
This was the closest division I had. The last place and first place are separated by 3 games for me.
Same
So-
here. Yeah.
In last place, I have the Steelers at 9-8. I was happy to see I gave the Steelers an over 500 record because when we initially did our predictions, I took the under on their win total. So the streak continues for Mike Tomlin. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. Third place in our head coach attractiveness blind ranking. So shout out to him. In third place, I have the Browns at a calm 10-7. In second, I have the Bengals at 11-6. And we're going to talk about the Bengals when we're done with our standings, where I have them. But second place at 11-6. And in first place, I have the Baltimore Ravens at 12-5. I think the Ravens are going to be one of the better teams in the entire NFL this season. I think Lamar plays at an MVP level. Obviously, he's my MVP pick. I think the defense is great. I think Odafe Owe takes a huge step forward this year and solves their edge rushing struggles.
Yeah, I mean, they also signed Clowney, I'm pretty sure,
They did.
which helps a little bit
He's
too.
wearing
with the
number
rotation.
24.
That's disgusting.
Gross.
That's actually
24 for an edge rusher, like
So-
Kobe Bryant.
So we'll start with the Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to be an interesting case this season. I think they will be a lot better than last year.
I like the Browns.
Still having them at 10-7 in last place is fucking insane. Like, that just shows how good this division really is, in my opinion at least. And after that, obviously I know you guys had the Steelers lower. Like, you had them at 8 wins.
8 and 9.
You had them at 8 as well.
9.
And then you had them at 9. I had them at 11-6. And just to give you an idea of how good the AFC is, they don't make the playoffs for me. So this is kind of crazy. I said that Mike Tomlin is my coach of the year, and I stand by that. I fully back that. But I will say one thing: the Steelers are so much better than people are giving them credit for right now. And obviously, I'm glad that you guys gave them 9, but I think 11-6 is entirely in the realm of possibility. It's still one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think Kenny Pickett is ready to take that massive jump, and I think the weapons over there are borderline elite. George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, like all of these guys for Kenny Pickett and an improved offensive line. So I'm very high on the Steelers, but I still didn't even have them making the playoffs at 11-6. So
Bro can't win coach of the year if you don't make the playoffs.
that's what I was
I was
thinking
about to say,
too,
yeah.
right? But my thing
Yeah,
is
absolutely not.
11-6. It also goes by expectations. Like, I feel like people aren't high on the Steelers, so going 11-6 is.
I feel like as of late they are.
Everyone's high on the Steelers recently. After the preseason they had, everyone's
Yeah,
high
bro.
higher on
I
the
feel like
Steelers.
every storyline I turn on NFL Network or whatever, they're like, everybody's sleeping on the Steelers. But if everybody's saying that, then really nobody's sleeping on the
That's a good
Steelers.
point.
Everyone's wide awake.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
everyone's stuff, like me included, everyone's come around to the Steelers these
Yeah.
past few weeks.
I
100%.
guess,
There's no
yeah.
way he wins coach of the year if they miss the playoffs. There's no chance.
Yeah, I might have to change my picks, but I don't know. It's tough. Maybe I have the Steelers making the playoffs over the Bengals. Maybe I'll go that far, but
We'll get into that.
go ahead, Chris. You were gonna say something about the Bengals specifically.
No, we'll get to that when we get to
Oh,
that.
okay, we get to that when we get to that. I think the Bengals are great still. And personally, I think the Ravens are the best team in the AFC at the moment. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I've looked it over and I was just like, it's either them or the Chargers for me because I've been super high on Justin Herbert coming into the season. And I think that Lamar Jackson is going to have that type of season that he's going to say to everybody, I deserved my money and I'm one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. So I think it's going to be interesting. But 4 teams with 10 wins is just wild to me. But moving on, we go over to finally the most anticipated divisions for us. We'll start with the AFC East. In last place, I have the 6-11 New England Patriots. I have the 9-8 Miami Dolphins in third place. I have the 11-6 New York Jets in second place. And in first place, I have the 12-5 Buffalo Bills.
In last place, I have the 7-10 Patriots. Third place, the Dolphins at 10-7. Second place, the Jets at 10-7, and first, the Bills at 11-6.
I love it.
Thank you.
In last place, I have the 4-13 Patriots,
Wow.
sending them into a full rebuild. Mac Jones is out the door,
Y'all see the
losing
juju
every single. Yeah, his
Bro, his
knee's gonna
knees-
explode.
his
I,
knees
He's
wrote-
gonna fucking
Explode.
explode.
I said that in our group chat.
Imagine he just pops on the field, just like
I have them not winning a single divisional game. The Dolphins coming in third at 10-7. The Jets coming in second and also at 10-7. The Dolphins missing the playoffs, and then the Bills at 13-4, coming in first place. I'm really high on the Bills this year. I think this is their year to prove it.
So in last place, I have the New England Patriots at 5-12. Sorry, Oatsleazy. They stink.
I have them at
It's as
6-0.
simple as that.
It's
They
tough.
just stink. In third place, I have the Buffalo Bills at 11-6. In second place, I have the Jets also at 11-6. And then in first place, this is for you, Fins Nation, the 12-5 Miami Dolphins. Let's ride.
I like it.
Boo.
I wanted to give the
originally,
Dolphins more wins.
So
I just
you're the
couldn't
only one
find
that
it.
has them going into the playoffs.
I guess
Yeah.
so.
do not have the Dolphins making the playoffs. Yeah.
I
all right.
wanted to make them in the playoffs, but
I did too,
Couldn't.
but there's so many damn
Yeah.
teams, man.
The
There's so
AFC is
many.
so
In my
talented.
opinion, I know the AFC got better as a whole, But I think the Dolphins are honestly going to be one of the more improved teams in the NFL this season. We know what like I've said a million times on this podcast, we know what the offense is going to do if Tua's healthy. Top 5 offense in the league. You know, elite play calling by Mike McDaniel, elite weapons with Tyreek, Waddle. You have a guy like Mostert who, when he plays, is great. Also added 10 pounds of muscle this offseason, Raheem Mostert, so hopefully he stays healthy.
He's jacked
for the entirety of the season. And then, like I said, I think I said this on the last podcast when I was talking about Tua, I just think objectively the defense is going to be better. There's no way the defense isn't better. You get a guy like Vic Fangio, who I've been raving about all offseason. You know, he's been the DC for some of the best defenses we've seen in our lifetimes. You know, those early 2010s 49ers defenses. And these guys in general had down seasons last year. Obviously, the front seven was great with Christian Wilkins, Jalen Phillips. Bradley Chubb was underwhelming when he got there last year. I think with a full offseason to integrate himself into the Vic Fangio system, Bradley Chubb is going to be a problem this year. Having Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips on the edge with Christian Wilkins inside is scary as hell. I like Jerome Baker, the player, but he had a down year last year. But now you get David Long to pair alongside him, who was arguably the best run-stopping linebacker in all football last year. You know, I expect Xavier Howard to take some type of positive regression this year because he was so fucking terrible last year. Javon Holland, I think, is elite. He has potential to be one of the best safeties in the NFL. Eli Apple, I think, will be serviceable in Jalen Ramsey's absence. You have Kohu there. You just traded away Noah Igbenogany, which I wasn't really a fan of trading him away, but it is what it is. And then halfway through the season, you're going to get the best corner in football back. At bare minimum, a top 3 corner in football.
So
or top 4. Like I'll give you guys
same thing. It's all the same thing.
It doesn't matter.
In a week,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Halfway through the season,
No, you're right.
I wasn't going to
You're
go at Jalen Ramsey.
You're
That
right.
wasn't
You're
gonna
right.
be my
No,
problem
you're
with
right.
that.
You're right.
My fear with the Dolphins is the Tua health, is the offensive line. Like, can we protect him? Can we stay healthy? And I think that's super important for them because if it doesn't happen, if that offensive line is just continuously breaking down, then you're in trouble. And I think 9-8 is good. 9-8 is solid. Is it good enough to make the playoffs? No, but I was struggling to find more games in a division where there just, in my opinion, are 2 teams that are better than them. That just are better than them.
My thing is, like, obviously we never wish injuries on people, but what happens to the Dolphins if Tua gets another concussion? What happens?
Oh,
Do you
Mike
shut him
White.
down?
It's done for.
He's
I don't
done.
know.
He's
what
retiring.
You
bro.
shut him down?
I wouldn't want him ever playing football again.
Yeah, I don't know what you do.
But like in football, how is that avoidable?
Yeah,
it's not
I don't-
avoidable.
It's not.
You know,
not.
I think we all liked what we saw in the preseason with Tua, how he was using his jiu-jitsu skills to brace his falls and stuff like that.
He's
to
learned
make
how to
sure
fall, yes.
he doesn't fall on his head, so I think that helps him. I think the O-line will be fine, barring health, obviously. I mean, with any team, I was actually, when I was just, using the restroom, I was reading a tweet from Nico, Elite Takes, and he was talking about O-line depth, and, like,
No team.
no one has an O-line depth. So,
Nobody.
like, any team, if your star offensive lineman gets hurt, you're screwed. And especially in the case of the Dolphins with Teron Armstead, who has never played a full season in his entire NFL career.
Yep.
So if Teron Armstead goes down, obviously all bets are off. If Tua goes down, all bets are off.
They do have
just
Mike
no-
White.
It's simply, granted, they have one of the better backups in the league, but regardless, it's just some guys are more likely to get injured, which is why I factor that in a little bit in certain scenarios, such as this one.
Yeah, I
But
definitely can't. Like, if your reasoning for the Dolphins missing the playoffs is I can't trust Tua and Teron
I don't
Armstead's
agree
health,
with Tua health. I don't agree with that take.
So say Tua gets hurt. We were talking about Kyler getting traded before. Does it possibly get traded this season, you think, or no?
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility if they're not going to play him.
Yeah.
And if he's ready to go and they're
I
showing
don't
that
know
he's
if
ready
the
to go.
Dolphins are the team to trade for Kyler.
And it's also hard for a
Because
quarterback.
Kyler's on a huge contract, and the Dolphins are paying a lot of guys, and they have
Yes.
to pay a lot of guys. You know, they still have to figure out the Christian Wilkins thing. They're obviously paying Tyreek a shit ton, paying Jalen Ramsey a shit ton. At some point, they're going to have to pay Jalen Waddle. They're going to, I guess if you trade for Kyler, you don't have to pay Tua, but
Jalen Phillips also.
right, Jalen Phillips is going to demand a contract soon. You know, Bradley Chubb is making a good chunk of money, so I don't think they're the team to trade for Kyler. But obviously, if Tua suffers another concussion, like, you have to start thinking about a future quarterback plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
for
And
sure.
you're ready to win now. So
Right.
it needs to be a win now guy. That would just have to be the case. And it's also another thing. It's so difficult for quarterbacks to get traded in the middle of the season because quarterbacks have to know the entirety of the playbook where everybody on the field needs to know, unlike any other position. So that is a big factor in terms of quarterback
Last
trades
season
as
when
well.
Baker got traded and 3 days later was in a game was nuts.
He won the
that's
game,
why it's
right?
so
Crazy.
crazy
That
was
to think
amazing.
about that,
That
bro.
was
amazing.
crazy.
And let a
That was
2-minute
so-
drill.
that was so impressive.
That was
Minute drill
so
with
good.
zero
So
timeouts.
impressive.
I love that.
So that was incredible. That
It was probably like a really dumbed down play version of
It
whatever
was.
playbook.
It definitely
but
was.
still, to get that done against another NFL team, bro. That's why I was so high on Baker because he actually showed really good promise towards the end of that season with the Rams.
I agree.
for sure.
Your Jets, I like them a lot. After thinking about it, my only issue again, the same thing that I mentioned with the Dolphins, is your offensive line. I fear that.
I don't think it's as bad as people think it is.
I don't think it's good.
I think a big problem with the Jets might even be our receivers. I think that's going to be a
After
problem.
Garrett Wilson.
After
yes.
Garrett Wilson, do you trust Alan Lazard? No. Do I trust McCole Hardman? No. Do I trust Jason Brownlee? No. Xavier Gibson? No.
I think there's a trade coming.
I don't think Lazard and Hardman as 2 and 3s are hard to trust, though. Especially when Lazard
is hard to
played
trust.
with Rodgers in
It's
the past.
definitely hard to trust. I
Alan
don't hate
Lazard is
Lazard.
not all that great. Bro, if we had Corey Davis, I'm not even really thinking about it. If Lazard's
that's
my
true.
wide receiver 3, cool. Hardman 4, cool. I like Corey Davis. I always like Corey
When
Davis.
healthy, yeah.
So
But
live Shefty bomb. Head coach Andy Reid told reporters that Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee at practice
Oh,
today,
shit.
and his status for Thursday night's opener versus the Lions is uncertain.
Dang, already out Chris bro. The big
I've
old Lions
I've
dub.
lost week 1
Lions dub.
in terms of ball game bets now because I had Kelsey.
Oh, I also had Kelsey.
So we're out.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Way to be.
That's so depressing. Hopefully,
Trav, I hope you're good, man.
hopefully you
For
get
real,
back.
like, that is a key component of how this season will be for the Kansas City Chiefs. So if he goes down, like how much does that change your fortunes? If he
Well,
misses
they
extended
already are
time,
kind of thin at weapons on offense, and to get rid of the best weapon in football, arguably, is pretty tough.
yes, Sky Moore season, I guess.
MVS,
MVS,
Rasheed Rice.
Tony.
Rasheed Rice, Kadarius Toney, all these guys. Look,
Kadarius, yo.
oh
Let's go,
my god,
Kadarius.
yeah,
Let's
he'll stay on the field for a solid 20 snaps.
Why
and then
would
I'll
you
never
say
play
that?
for you again.
Why would you say that?
What do you mean? Why would I say that? It's his history. He's played two seasons.
You know
and
what
he's played
history
8
is?
games.
You know where history is? Tell me where it is.
In
Tell
the
me.
past.
It's in the past.
Yeah, thanks.
It's in the past.
Thanks, Dean. He sucks. Fuck.
He's not
Tony.
wrong.
He
History is
sucks.
in the past.
Hate that guy. But yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I feel good about the Bills going into this season now. After thinking about it, but 12-5, I don't have them as a top 2 seed. But we'll get into that. Anyways, we'll jump over to the final division, the NFC East, and in last place. This is also one of the best divisions in all football, I must say. At 7-10, I have the Washington Commanders. In third place, after thinking about it, after going through it, I have the 11-6 New York Giants. In second place, I have the 12-5 Dallas Cowboys. And in first place, the 13-4 Philadelphia Eagles.
So in last place, I have the 8-9 Commanders. Third place, the 9-8 Giants. Second place, the 11-6 Cowboys, and in first place, the Eagles at 13-4.
I think we're all pretty similar here. In last place, I have the 6-11 Commanders. Third place, making the playoffs, the 10-7 Giants. Second place, the 11-6 Dallas Cowboys. And in first place, 13-4 Philadelphia Eagles.
So in last place, I have the 7-10 New York Giants. In third place, I have the also 7-10 Washington Commanders. So it's not like
Okay. All right, cool.
I purposely gave the Commanders more wins. It's a tough division. I have the Commanders going 2-4 in the division, and the Giants going 1-5. It's a dogfight of a division. In second place, I have the Eagles at 12-5, and then in first place, also at 12-5, I have the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be a dogfight. I could see these teams winning more games. I could see them winning less games. It's really it. I think the Commanders. I still do think the Commanders are a better football team than the Giants.
So I honestly thought that we'd be far apart on the Commanders' wins, personally. But we have the exact same record for them, which was surprising to me. I
There just
like
wasn't
them.
enough games for them to win. They
They're
might
a good football team.
They might have the toughest schedule in all of football.
Completely agree. They're a very good football team after thinking about it. They really are. But another thing for me, obviously some of my fan bias was coming out in terms of picking the Giants to be 11-6, but this was an offseason that I saw Joe Shane attack almost all of the weaknesses on the Giants roster and just improve the roster tenfold. And I mean, we won 9 games last year. And you traded for a bunch of guys that, for cheap, for the most part, drafted a bunch of guys that will help you in year one. And I love this team. I love what we've put together. And I think it comes together. I really do. I think it works out for the Giants. And I think we're a good football team this year. I hate having high expectations, though, because then I just get let down.
It's scary.
It always
Dude,
happens.
that's my whole life. That's every team that I root for.
No, it is. Mets, Jets.
All of them.
Yeah, it is what it is. Look, I do think this is the second best division in all football, though. This is the second best division in all football, in my opinion, right behind the AFC North. Granted, I think the AFC North is significantly top of the list in terms of all the divisions in the NFL. I do think this is still a very, very, very good division, and it's super tough.
Here's the thing about the AFC North is I think there's only one team realistically that can win the Super Bowl in that division.
I disagree.
That's the
I
Bengals.
disagree.
Completely disagree
I think
with
the
that
Ravens
statement.
can.
No.
Okay, fine.
Oh, sorry, he said
I think
so.
3
Damn it.
teams could win the Super Bowl in that division.
You think
the
the Browns
Browns are
can
up
win
there?
too?
I
do.
knew it wasn't the Steelers.
I don't think it's like a high chance that the Browns can win, but if everything goes right
I
for
agree.
them,
Yeah,
they could be putting out there the best overall roster in all of football with a quarterback playing at a top 5 level.
I completely agree.
I know things can happen. I know things can just shape out differently. Once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen.
Yes.
But my idea of what a Super Bowl team is like probably like top 5, 6 teams in the league.
I disagree. I don't agree with that.
I do agree with that, but like that's what I mean. Like there's a real possibility that the Browns are playing at a top 5 to 6 level in the league.
I'll put it like this. I think in football, I have a broader range of teams that I could consider for a Super Bowl because it's only one game.
it's easier
Right,
for
once you get
the
into the
worst
playoffs,
teams.
NBA, I
Yeah.
know damn well in a 7-game series, this team is beating this team.
It's easier
But when
for
it's
the worst
NFL,
teams.
one game?
Yeah,
Bro.
it's easier in the NFL for the worst teams to win the championship.
Yeah, my
because it's
9
one
and 8
game.
Lions for
But
all I could
in the
say.
NBA, it's
Nick
easier
Foles
for
took the Eagles to
better
a
teams.
championship.
Bingo, there
Yeah.
you go, exactly. Like, granted, that roster was great, but
Do you remember that playoff run? Who Case Keenum was playing quarterback for the Vikings?
and he had a fucking great
who else?
season.
Blake Bortles,
Blake Bortles was a
and then
Was he
Tom
still the
Brady,
start-
right?
he was
It was
still the
Tom
starting
Brady versus
quarterback.
Blake Bortles and Case Keenum versus what else we just said?
Foles.
yeah, Nick
Foles.
Foles.
That was a
bro.
crazy championship weekend.
That-
It really was.
uh,
What a time to be
I don't.
alive.
Did Case make the championship game? They got bounced
Case-
in the divisional round. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
he played in the championship game. No, yeah.
That was
The
the Minnesota,
Minneapolis
Miracle.
Miracle.
Minneapolis Miracle, the week before. Yeah. Regardless, that was crazy. Can't believe.
But yeah,
some of those
obviously that's at the point of it being like the teams that aren't as great could make runs in the playoffs.
Yes, I completely agree. I get it. I see where you guys are coming from, but that's my point. I think that's why I have a broad range of Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion, in the NFL,
Yeah.
because I think there's so many teams that could just go on a run and only win. All you got to do in some of these cases is win 3 games, and then in other cases 4. But regardless, I think it's entirely possible that some of these teams can do that. But here we go. Now we move on to the playoffs. And we'll start with the AFC, and I'll go backwards in terms of how I have my teams ranked for the playoffs. So with the 7th seed in the AFC playoffs, I have the 11-6 New York Jets. With the 6th seed in the playoffs, I have the 12-5 Cincinnati Bengals. The 5th seed, I have the 12-5 Kansas City Chiefs. The 4th seed, I have the 10-7 Jacksonville Jaguars winning their division. The 3rd seed, I have the 12-5 Buffalo Bills winning their division. 2nd, the 13-4 Chargers. And in 1st, the 13-4 Baltimore Ravens as the 1 seed getting the bye.
So, the 7th seed, I have the Jets at 10-7. The 6th seed, the Ravens at 11-6. The 5th seed, the Chargers at 13-4. The 4th seed are the Bills at 11-6. The 3rd seed are the Jags at 11-6. The 2nd seed are the Chiefs at 14-3. And the 1st seed are the Bengals at 14-3.
Okay.
All right. I have the Bills getting the bye.
Go backwards.
Yeah, from 7.
So the 7th seed, I have the New York Jets going up against the Bengals. Then I have the 6th-seeded
This fucking kid.
Chargers,
Wait,
and then
no.
the 5-seeded.
Just read it from 7 to
list.
1.
Let's read it from 7 to 1, buddy.
Where's the list? Oh, you don't have a list.
I didn't do it like that.
There you go.
Okay.
You have all the teams and their seeds.
All right, 7. I have the New York Jets. At the 6th seed, I have the
Why you
Chargers.
covering your face?
At the 5th seed, I have the Cleveland Browns. The 4th seed, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. The 3rd seed, I have the Jaguars. The 2nd seed, I have the Bengals. And the number 1 seed is the Buffalo Bills.
So I have the Chargers as the 7th seed at 11-6. The Buffalo Bills as the 6th seed at 11-6. The New York Jets as the 5th seed at 11-6. The Baltimore Ravens as the 4th seed at 12-5. The Miami Dolphins as the 3 seed at 12-5. The Jacksonville Jaguars as the 2 seed at 12-5. And the Kansas City Chiefs as the 1 seed at 13-4. I have the Bengals missing the playoffs.
That's crazy.
I have them going 11-6. I just
know.
happen to have 4 teams going 11-6. That's just
I mean, granted, yeah, I had the Steelers going 11-6, and I had them as my 8 seed, and then the
That's just
9
the
seed
way
of
it
the Cleveland
went.
Browns 10-7. So it sucks. Like I don't want an 11-6 and 10-7 team missing the playoffs for me, but that just seems to be the way that it all falls. It's unfortunate, but why? Why the Bengals being that?
I just have
You
them.
just think that the other teams are just
Well,
gonna
this is just the way the schedule made it. So like,
have them at
out of those
12-5.
4 teams I have going 11-6, I would probably say the Bengals are the best out of
Okay,
them.
that's what I was
Between
about
the
to say.
Jets, Bills, Chargers, and Bengals, I'd probably say the Bengals are the best team out of the bunch. Just the way the playoffs
Divisional record
works,
and
I
stuff
guess.
falls,
Yeah.
head to head and stuff like that. Yeah, it's tough. I had the Bengals at 12-5, so they were the 6th seed for me. But their roster is phenomenal this season. The only issue is once again the offensive line, but I think it's improved. I think it's better. Their defense has gotten even more depth overall.
I think losing Jesse Bates matters more
Yes.
than people realize.
Agree. I agree.
I know Lou Anarumo is like arguably the best DC in the league,
If
but
there's a position you could replace on defense, I think it's safety. Competent safety play, I think they can replace. I do.
I do agree, but I also think Jesse Bates was so elite that it's going to be super hard to replace that.
Yeah, especially
He was
given
so
the corners.
important to that defense, right? Especially
corners are-
due
yeah.
to the lack of cornerback play. Having Jesse Bates over the top to help out was so important for them.
Yeah, that's. I just think their offense is just on such a different level that it's just they'll win games off that, and then the pass rush is elite now too. So
And then also just within the division, like it's just I have them going 4-2 in the division, but you know the division's gonna be a dogfight.
agreed. Okay, here we go. We move on to the NFC. The 7th seed, I have the 10-7 Seattle Seahawks. The 6th seed, I have the 11-6 New York Giants. The 5th seed, the 12-5 Dallas Cowboys. The 4th seed, 9-8 Detroit Lions. 3rd seed, 10-7 Atlanta Falcons. 2nd seed, 11-6 San Francisco 49ers. And the 1 seed is the 13-4 Philadelphia Eagles getting the bye.
So my 7th seed is the Seahawks at 9-8. The 6th seed are the Giants at 9-8. The 5th seed are the Cowboys at 11-6. The 4th seed are the Falcons at 9-8. My 3 seed is the Lions at 12-5. 2nd seed the 49ers at 13-4. And my 1st seed are the Eagles at 13-4.
All right. At the 7th seed, I have the Seahawks at 9-8. 6th seed, I have the Giants at 10-7. The 5th seed, I have the Cowboys at 11-6. The 4th seed, I have the Falcons at 9-8. The 3rd seed, I have the 49ers at 12-5. The 2nd seed, I have the Lions at 12-5. And then getting the bye with the 1 seed are the Philadelphia Eagles at 13-4.
So my 7th seed is the Green Bay Packers at 9-8. My 6th seed is the 49ers at 11-6. My 5 seed is the Eagles at 12-5. My 4 seed is the Lions at 10-7. 3 seed is the Falcons at 11-6. 2 seed is the Seahawks at 12-5. And my 1 seed is the Dallas Cowboys at 12-5.
This creates some super interesting playoff matchups
Yeah.
for me. So, because I feel like most of the wild card teams are just better than some of these division winning teams, and I think that creates a very fun playoff opportunity there. So I guess I'll start in the AFC, and I'll break down We'll start with the wild card round. We'll all give our picks.
Duh.
So in the 4-5 matchup, I have the Jaguars versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I had the Chiefs winning that game. In the 2-7 matchup, I had the Chargers versus the New York Jets. I had the Chargers winning that game. And then in the 3-6 matchup, I had the Bills versus the Bengals, and I had the Bills winning that game.
So for me, in the 4-5 matchup, I had the Bills versus the Chargers, and I had the Bills winning that game. In the 3-6 matchup, I had the Jags versus the Ravens. I have the Ravens winning that game. And in the 2-7, I have the Chiefs versus the Jets. I have the Chiefs winning.
So for the 4-5 game, I have the Chiefs over the Browns. The 3-6 matchup, I have the Chargers at the 6 over the Jaguars. And then the 2-7, I have the Bengals and Jets, and I have the Jets beating the Bengals in the first round.
Nice. So my 4-5 matchup, I have the Ravens versus the Jets. I took the Ravens there. My 3-6, I have the Dolphins at home versus the Bills. The Dolphins get back, losing to the Bills in the playoffs last year by only 3 points with Skylar Thompson as the quarterback in Buffalo. At home in Miami, the Dolphins get back. And then my 2-7 matchup, I have the Jaguars versus the Chargers. Another team getting their get back. I have the Chargers defeating the Jaguars on the road.
Okay. Now we move on to the NFC. With the 3-6 matchup, I have the Falcons versus the New York Giants. I have the New York Giants defeating the Atlanta Falcons. In the 2-7, I have the San Francisco 49ers versus Seattle Seahawks. I have the 49ers winning that game. And in the 4-5, I have the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys, and I have the Dallas Cowboys moving on.
So in the 4-5 matchup, I have the Falcons versus the Cowboys. I have the Cowboys winning that game. In the 3-6, I have the Lions versus the Giants. I have the Giants winning that game. And in the 2-7, I have the 49ers versus the Seahawks, and I have the 49ers winning.
All right. So for the 3-6 matchup, I have the Niners over the Giants. In the 4-5 matchup, I have the Cowboys over the Falcons. And for my 2-7 matchup, I have the Seahawks upsetting the Lions.
So in my 4-5 matchup, I have the Lions versus the Eagles. I think the Eagles take that one pretty comfortably. In my 3-6 matchup, I have the Falcons versus the 49ers. It's just the way it unfolded. I've been saying the Falcons are going to win a playoff game. So the Falcons defeat the 49ers at home. That Atlanta crowd is going to be rocking. And then my 2-7 matchup, I have the Seahawks defeating the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
Nice.
Fuck the 49ers.
Okay.
Brock Purdy's no match for Desmond Ridder.
Now we move on to the divisional round. And in my 1-5 matchup, I have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I have the Baltimore Ravens moving on. And in my 2-3 matchup, I have the Chargers versus the Buffalo Bills. And as much as I picked Justin Herbert to go to the AFC Championship game, I didn't back it. I picked the Buffalo Bills to defeat the Chargers in this game.
Wow. All right. So for my first game, it's the 2 versus the 4, the Chiefs versus the Bills. I have the Chiefs moving on. And in my second game, the 1 versus the 6, the Bengals versus the Ravens. I have the Bengals moving on.
Wow. So for my 4-6, I have the Chiefs at 4, Chargers at 6. I have the Chiefs moving on to the conference championship. And then I have the 1-7 Bills Jets. I have the Bills, not the Bills. Wow. I have the Jets. 12 years later, making their way back to the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
So in my first game, I have the 3-seeded Dolphins versus the 4-seeded Baltimore Ravens. You already know I'm rocking with the Dolphins here. And then I have the 1-seeded Kansas City Chiefs playing their division rival, the Los Angeles Chargers, at home. I'm going to rock with the Chiefs there.
Okay. In the NFC, I have the 1-seeded Philadelphia Eagles versus the 6-seeded New York Giants. And as much as I really wanted to, I couldn't. The Philadelphia Eagles move on. In the 2-5, I have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. And I have the Dallas Cowboys moving on to make it a full NFC East NFC championship.
I have the exact same thing as he does. The Eagles versus the Giants in the 1-6, the Eagles winning. and the 2-5 49ers versus the Cowboys winning.
Wow.
All right. So I have the 1-seeded Eagles beating the 7-seeded Seahawks. And then I have the 3-seeded 49ers falling to the 5-seeded Cowboys.
So I have the 2-seeded Seattle Seahawks versus 3-seed Atlanta Falcons. This is where the Falcons' magical run comes to an end. I have the Seahawks advancing in the Battle of the Birds. Then I have the 1-seeded Cowboys versus the 5-seeded Philadelphia Eagles, and I have the Cowboys taking that one.
Okay, so we move back to the AFC. And in the AFC Championship, I have the 1-seeded Baltimore Ravens versus the 3-seeded Buffalo Bills. I'm changing my pick. So I originally had the Bills written down here to win this game. The more I come around to it, I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to continue this run, and I think the Baltimore Ravens move on to the Super Bowl. In the other side of the bracket, we'll just rattle off our championship games, and then we'll go to the Super Bowl, okay? So we don't have to go AFC, NFC.
What?
Again, I'm going to give the AFC championship and then the NFC championship, and then you do the same thing. And we'll just...
That's what we've been doing.
No,
That's
we've been going-
that's what
That's a
the idea
great
was.
idea.
We were
It's a
doing
great
AFC,
idea.
NFC. We were each giving our AFC picks, and then we went to our NFC picks.
No, we weren't.
Yes, we were.
No, we were not.
Yes, we were.
We quite literally were.
We'd all do the AFC, and then we'd all do the NFC. He's saying, I'm going to do the AFC and the NFC, and then
Really?
you do the AFC and the NFC.
I don't even know.
Okay.
Okay, so I have the Ravens beating the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship, and then I have the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship, and I have the Dallas Cowboys moving on to the Super Bowl.
In my AFC Championship, I have the 1-seeded Bengals versus the 2-seeded Chiefs, and I have the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. My NFC Championship, I have the 1-seeded Eagles versus the 5-seeded Cowboys, and I have the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
Wow. So, the Jets, they go into championship weekend with a tall task of versing the Kansas City Chiefs
In Arrowhead? Yeah, right.
in Arrowhead. Aaron Rodgers, unfortunately, isn't enough to beat Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs move on to the Super Bowl. And on the other side of things, we have a divisional matchup in the Eagles against the Cowboys. The Cowboys finally defeat the Eagles and move on to the Super Bowl. So we have the Chiefs and Cowboys moving on.
So the Miami Dolphins, finally back in the AFC Championship game, have a tough task having to go into Arrowhead to play them Kansas City Chiefs.
I see a trend here.
But Tua Tagovailoa shows why he's the best quarterback in the NFL. And Tua walks into Arrowhead and drags his nuts all over Chris Jones. And the Miami Dolphins defeat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, man.
And then in the NFC,
Super Bowl, that's crazy.
and then in the is it that crazy?
It is.
It is
It
crazy.
is crazy.
I love it.
crazy.
I love it. I love it.
Really not. And then in the NFC, I have the 1-seeded Cowboys versus the 2-seeded Seattle Seahawks. I have the Cowboys advancing to the Super Bowl.
That was so
I really wanted to
enigmatic.
see a Dolphins-Seahawks championship right there.
That would have been
It would
good.
have been awesome.
Oh, that would have been out there.
Someone do like a TikTok intro for this. Like, these are our 2023 Super Bowl picks.
That's the intro. That's the intro. Right there.
We'll keep it like
get
that. We'll keep it like that.
No.
These are these are our 2023 Super Bowl picks.
So in the Super Bowl, I have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Dallas Cowboys. Lamar Jackson proves to the whole goddamn world that he is an elite passer. And the Baltimore Ravens win the Super Bowl over the Dallas Cowboys.
I like that.
Wow.
In my Super Bowl, I have Joe Shiesty and the Bengals versus Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. And Joe Shiesty is going to Shiesty. He's going to win the Super Bowl.
All right. Fourth quarter. 2 minutes left. Pat Mahomes has the ball against the Dallas Cowboys defense. Jackson Mahomes on the sidelines crying his eyes out. Micah Parsons screaming off the edge. Pops Patrick Mahomes. Sack. Down go the Chiefs. Dak Prescott wins his first Super Bowl. Jackson Mahomes still crying on the sidelines. And the Cowboys win it.
Nah, he ain't crying. He's doing a TikTok dance.
Westbrook. Come on, man. We're live.
I love how he's
What's
crying.
wrong with that?
I love how he's crying before anything even happened. Why? Nothing happened.
He
yet.
knew the inevitable
Michael was
truth.
inevitable. Michael was inevitable. The number one Cowboys defense, the number one ranked Cowboys defense, it was over. See, but we have Lamar, so it's
Yeah.
different.
You're right.
I guess.
So in my Super Bowl, I have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Miami Dolphins. And Tua Tagovailoa proves to the whole damn world that he is an elite passer. And the Miami Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
I love how he waits till the Super Bowl to prove that he's a good passer.
Well, that's what Lamar did too. That's what he said about
Lamar
Lamar.
also did wait till the Super Bowl. Lamar
I didn't
also
catch that
waited.
from you.
That's the only reason I said that.
I didn't catch it from you. I would have said it. Fuck.
Nah.
The
yeah,
Miami
I think-
Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
So it's crazy. Three of us have the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC. In
I
the
almost,
fucking Super Bowl.
I almost picked them.
Three of
Yeah,
us.
I wanted to, but I couldn't do it.
And then two of us picked against them, and you picked for the Dallas Cowboys, bro. It was tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was
tough.
very tough. I don't feel good about my pick.
Oh, not at all. We're all gonna be wrong probably.
I feel great about my pick.
It's just gonna be the Chiefs
that's
again.
Crazy that
The Chiefs
he
are just gonna
feels
win again.
Great about his pick. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna win it though. I don't think that a Super Bowl champion hasn't gone back to back in like I think 30 years, 40 years or so. So I don't think the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, but
So Ravens, Cowboys, Bengals, Dolphins. Nice.
yeah, because those are the only two people that picked.
I think
The
those
Super
were all
Bowls.
the picks.
Those were all our picks.
What do you mean?
I have the
Bengals,
Cowboys.
Cowboys, Ravens, Dolphins.
Oh, I thought you were saying like our AFC champion or like
No.
Super
I
Bowl.
was saying all our picks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is the only one that matters.
so three of us picked the AFC. Three of us picked the
Don't
AFC.
scream like that again. That was crazy.
Three of us picked the AFC and one of us picked the NFC. Okay, interesting. And three of us had the Cowboys in the fucking Super Bowl. That was the one almost constant throughout this entire thing. Wow. And I don't even fuck the Cowboys, man. Fuck the Eagles. Fuck the Cowboys. Just Giants are going to the Super Bowl and winning it. I have a bet on them, so I hope they win it. But yeah, so that's our entire NFL season predictions. There we go.
Amazing. That was so much fun.
That was fun.
Chris, do you want to give a quick shout out to the other
yeah.
sponsor over there?
Shout out to our partners over at SeatGeek. If you guys don't know about SeatGeek, at this point you really need to get in tune. SeatGeek is the best ticketing app on the market. They grade their deals on a scale of 1 to 10. They also grade them by color. The green deals, those are good. Buy them. The red deals, don't buy them. And also, if you use our code BallGamePod, you will get $20 off your first purchase. Again, that is code BallGamePod for $20 off your first purchase. I know I will be using SeatGeek to purchase the tickets to the Black Friday game at MetLife Stadium, where the Dolphins roll in there and beat the Jets.
Oh boy.
I'm actually
I
going
don't
to
know
be
why you're looking
honest.
at me because it's not going to happen.
Well, when I made my schedule, I'm not
supposed to
going to
look at
lie. I said, the Jets are at home. They're going to take this one. So I did predict you guys to.
Thanks. Me too.
He's gonna look at the Giants.
But at Hard Rock,
At Hard Rock, going to be hard as a rock.
it's gonna be a hard night for Tua. Be a hard night for Tua. I didn't know where to go with that, to be honest.
Okay, sick. That was fire.
I wanted to somehow
Comedy.
put rock in there, but
Yeah.
I couldn't. I didn't find it.
Yep.
So it happens.
Yep, keep going.
but
Mhm.
Fuck you. Dean.
Okay.
Fuck you and your stupid Cowboys.
All right.
But all right, who has some TikToks to go
Oh
on?
yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, I'm going to go first. Bet. All right, we're going to blind rank the new 2023 throwback uniforms without knowing which. Let me start that again.
Run it back.
Blind rank the new 2023 throwback uniforms without knowing which one comes next.
Okay.
All right, first, we have the new 1980s throwback Jets uniforms.
So do you
you
have a
have-
picture?
I do have a picture, actually.
That'd be amazing.
This fucking guy.
that's the white one, the Sauce Gardner jersey you have.
Oh.
I'm cool with that at 3.
I put it at 3
feel
too.
like.
I feel like there's going to be better jerseys, even though it's really nice. A lot of them are really
I wouldn't
nice.
even mind putting that at 4.
Oof.
I trust you guys. I don't know what it looks like yet, but
I think it's pretty basic. I think it's pretty basic.
It's clean,
It's
though.
definitely clean.
it's basic, it's clean, it's nice.
I think
I don't
3.
know.
I think it should
Three's
be
cool.
in the middle.
3's cool.
Cool. All right, next, we have the Seahawks.
Seahawks throwbacks.
They're pulling these out of the season.
These, yes.
I like that. I think that's the 2.
I
wouldn't hate the 1, honestly.
Down putting it at 1.
That's fine.
I'm not sure how many more I like more than that.
I'm cool
So
with
there's
1. I like that.
There's gonna be the Oilers jerseys in here.
Those are
So next,
Wait,
we didn't
we
even
didn't
put
rank
it
it yet.
anywhere.
There's gonna be the Oilers jerseys in here. So I think we keep 1 open.
You could put
Put
2.
it at 2. Put it at 2.
my internet here is no good. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so what's the next one?
I got it.
Okay. He has it. I don't know. It's tough. The Oilers jerseys are gorgeous. So that's what we have to hold out for. That's probably the only one that I would put over the
All right.
Seahawks.
So next are the
and
Oilers
speaking
throwbacks.
of the devil.
All right, say that again.
So next we have the new Tennessee Titans Oilers throwbacks.
Those are fire.
They're one.
1.
Those are
They're one.
beautiful
I
jerseys.
actually want to buy one of those. I don't know
Yeah.
who yet, but I'm going to buy one of those.
yeah,
It's it's the same thing as the those Chicago Bulls
Yes,
City ones that they had a few years ago.
but they're better.
Those are fire.
These are better.
So those are
than
number 1 for you guys?
Yeah.
All right. Next we have the new Buccaneers Creamsicles.
I'm cool with putting them at 4.
Damn.
I like
I
the
wish
Jets
3
one
was
more
open
than
for
that. I
that.
like the Jets one more
But
than that personally.
I guess 4.
I like that one more than
These
the
are sick.
Jets.
Me
but
I'm
we
too.
not
have
a massive orange guy. That's just my thing.
nah, those are nice. So,
Yeah.
but we have to put them at 4.
4.
Oh boy.
Next, these are super hot fire.
Oh well,
No,
we've screwed up.
messed up.
They're the Eagles new Kelly Green throwbacks.
I
I mean,
fine with putting those at 5.
completely. agree.
Really?
Yeah.
I think those are my favorites.
I like
Really?
the helmet, obvious. I think the helmet's clean,
Helmet's
but the
gas.
jersey in general is so basic.
I just love that shade of green. That's my favorite.
I mean, we'll put them at 5. I feel decent about the list. I don't hate it.
So what did it end up being?
Oilers at 1, Seahawks at 2,
Jets at 3.
Jets at 3.
4, we had the creamsicle Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and 5, we had the Philadelphia Eagles.
I would put the
throwbacks.
Jets last out of all those 5, honestly.
I
Yeah,
probably would switch it up and put the Jets last now too. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right.
So. Guess the NFL team based on their players' fantasy finishes last season.
Okay. Get it right this time, Trunks.
I did. Don't worry. So
Is this PPR or standard, by the way?
PPR.
Okay.
So it's the teams their lineup this season, but the players that are in the lineup their rank last season.
Okay.
It could. All right. So
So they could have switched teams, but it's
Yes.
this year's roster.
this year's roster.
Yeah.
So team 1, quarterback 26, wide receiver 1 is 47, wide receiver 2 is 78, running back 4, tight end 25.
The Tennessee Titans.
It is the Tennessee Titans. Good job.
Sick.
Team 2, quarterback 16, wide receiver 1 22, wide receiver 2.
Oh, I thought you said wide receiver 122. I'm sorry.
Yeah, say that again.
I'm
but
sorry,
Like
that's
wide
terrible.
receiver 1, 22.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 1 is 22, wide receiver 2 is 43, running back 82, tight end 29.
It has to be a bad team.
Yeah.
Quarterback 16, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Arizona Cardinals.
No.
Oh wait, James Conner.
How many games did Stafford play last year? Not enough to be the quarterback 16, right?
No, but Cam Akers also I don't think was low enough to be that. But go
Chicago
ahead.
Bears.
No.
Take a yeah. Go ahead. Take the shot at it.
Is it the Los Angeles Rams?
No.
Yeah.
What was wide receiver 122? And 2 was
43.
And what was the running back?
82.
How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
No.
Okay.
The running back was 82.
82.
Ranked
bro.
82
I'm
in the league.
struggling here. That's crazy. How does any one team not have a?
Like you could fill 2 full leagues with running backs before you get to that guy.
Yeah. Oh
It's
my
not
God.
the Texans.
No, because Damian Pierce is top
He's good.
25-ish. Yeah. Oh my
Team
God.
with, like,
Who
a hurt
didn't have a
running
running back? Yo, this
Like I
is
would think it's the Buccaneers.
bad.
This is
I'm
tough.
like,
Blanking.
it's not the Atlanta Falcons.
Is it the Carolina Panthers?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Is it the Denver Broncos?
It is the
There it
Denver
is.
Broncos.
There it is.
Javonte Williams, 82.
Yeah.
Ah, I see what you did.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
I didn't really do anything. I did what I said I was doing.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Because like
He didn't trick you at all.
no. Only because like Samaje Perine was most definitely ranked higher than that.
This year's lineup.
Well,
Javante is their running back.
well, yeah, I guess.
I told you.
No, I get
He
what you
is.
did. I get what you did.
Team 3. Quarterback 7. Wide receiver 1, 24. Wide receiver 1 is 24. Wide receiver 2 is 71. Running back 41. Tight end 7.
Quarterback was 7.
Yeah.
Was it the Ravens?
No.
Good
Good guess, though.
top 10 fantasy tight ends.
The Giants?
No.
Well, no, the running back.
That's
would be
not a
way
bad
higher.
one though. But what was wide receiver 1?
24.
Bro. Running back.
41.
Damn, this one's rough, bro. I'm trying not to look at NFL teams and like just doing it off the top of my head. This is rough.
The wide receiver one was what? 41?
24.
24.
No.
Nope.
Good quarterback.
Wow. Good quarterback, good tight end, and I can't even think of it right now.
It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, you did that last time, though.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh my God, who was tight end 7?
This is crazy.
Wow, this is.
And what
really
was the
bad.
quarterback again?
7.
So tight end 7 and quarterback 7.
I am going to guess. No, it can't be the Chargers.
Is it the Vikings? No,
It's not the Vikings,
absolutely
'cause
not.
wide
It's
receiver,
Jefferson.
yeah.
I'm stupid.
Wait.
Wait.
Wait, wide receiver 2 was 41.
Wide receiver 2 is 71.
Oh,
Running back is 41.
Jesus Christ.
Bad running back.
Um,
Bad running.
could be a new running back though. Could the tight end could be new? Wait. No.
Okay.
I was gonna say the Carolina Panthers, but that just doesn't make sense because Bryce Young wasn't ranked in fantasy.
What was the running back again?
41.
You stumped us, Trunks.
This
This
is
is a good
bad.
one.
Wow.
you.
Oh my
Thank you.
God.
Um,
QB7. It's not Danny.
who are the tight ends? Okay, we got Kelsey.
I'm not even going by tight ends anymore. I'm going by quarterback.
Okay, so who are the top 7 quarterbacks last year?
Yeah, but a lot of guys got hurt. That's part of the issue.
But do we know who they were? No, I guess not.
Running back was 41. Wide receiver 1 was 24. It's the Chicago Bears.
It's the Chicago Bears.
Who was tight end 7?
Ooh.
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet finished tight
Yeah,
end
because
7?
he had like the last 6 games of the season, he had fucking
didn't-
touchdowns.
I didn't know that.
Wow, Jesus,
Congrats,
that took
you did it.
forever. Oh my God.
Stumped you on 2 teams there. Nice.
Yeah, you got me pretty bad there. The first one was
Yeah,
I knew
that
that,
right away.
off rip. Yeah. Once you
Running
said
back
running
kind
back
of.
4,
Yeah.
and also when you were talking about new players being on new teams, I was like, oh, D Hop's going to be involved in this. So I thought Tennessee Titans almost.
That's not even what I said it for. I said that because. Why did I say that? I don't even remember, actually. I don't know. But
All
whatever.
right.
And then I thought Khalil Herbert was 41. So
All right. Draft your perfect NFL or edge rusher using current players only. So the categories we're going to do are speed, power, body, run stuffing ability, and footwork. I think that's a good 5 categories for an edge rusher, right?
I'm going to get absolutely fucked in this.
power, body, footwork,
And run stuff.
run stuff.
That's good, right?
My guy's going to be ass.
Okay, yeah, that's fun.
What was it? I'm sorry.
Speed,
have it written down.
power, body, run stuff, and footwork.
Okay. Who's got first pick?
Whoever wants it.
I'll take it. I'm taking the speed of Micah Parsons.
Great pick.
Go ahead, buddy.
Are these just edges or?
Yes. That's kind of the point of build your perfect edge rusher. So. Yeah, this one's definitely going to
Taking the power of Myles Garrett.
Damn it. That was
good
my
pick.
pick.
a good pick as well.
Oh, man. Who'd you take, Manager?
I took the speed of Micah Parsons, which was a pretty fucking easy one, to be honest. Dude runs a sub 4.4 as an edge rusher.
I'm going to get absolutely destroyed in this, just so you guys know.
That's the point.
Yeah, I know. Let me get the power. Let me get the power of Nick Bosa.
No, it's a good pick.
Let's go. I don't know shit about this.
I'm going to take... I'm going to take the speed of Hassan Reddick,
Okay.
and then I'm going to take the footwork of Max Crosby.
That was my pick. Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Whose speed did you take?
Hassan Reddick.
Nice.
Let me take the body of TJ Watt.
Of all the things you could have taken,
I don't
from
fucking know,
Watt,
bro. All right. I don't know.
Don't be sorry.
I'm sorry. It's what I wanted.
Don't be sorry. I just told
No,
you not
go
to.
ahead, buddy. You're okay.
Thanks.
All right. Go ahead, Dean.
Gonna take the footwork of Von Miller.
It's a good pick.
I'm going to take the power of Cameron Jordan.
It's a great pick.
I'm going to take the power of Cameron Jordan, and then in my back-to-back, I'm going to take the run stuff. I'll take the footwork of Brian Burns.
It's a great pick also. Nice.
There we go.
All right. Whose pick is it?
You.
I'm gonna take the body of Khalil Mack.
Okay.
Give me the speed of Joey Bosa.
It's a good pick.
Solid. Bless you. You have both the Boses.
I do.
Oh my god, that
Build
hurt.
your Bosa.
I'm going to take the run stuff of Brandon Graham.
Fuck, Chris. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm going to take the run stuff of Brandon Graham.
That was my pick.
And then I'm going to take the body of Daniil Hunter. Big ass bully.
That dude is fucking yoked.
Yeah. Oh, I like my guy.
Did anyone take Trey Hendrickson yet?
No.
I'm going to take the run stuffing of Trey Hendrickson.
Good pick.
Thanks.
Probably not the guy I'd go for, but that's not bad.
Shut up.
No, he was a good run stuffer.
Yeah, he was.
Is it me again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the run stuff of John Franklin Myers.
Okay. I'm going to take the body of Chase Young.
Good pick.
That's
As
what
long
I'm
as he
looking
can
at.
stay healthy. As long as health is not part of this. And the run stuff. Ooh, this one's tough. This is where it gets tough. I'm assuming we had to have said TJ Watt, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The run stuff of Matthew Judon. Sets a solid edge over there.
Hmm. I have one more category to fill.
Fill that shit.
Take the speed of Montez Sweat.
Great
That's a
pick.
great pick, Dean.
W. Absolute W.
All right, Chunks, your final pick.
Let me get the footwork. Let me get the footwork of Josh Allen.
It's a good pick, too.
You know what? Oh, never mind. You still have a pick.
With my last pick, I'm going to take the power of DeMarcus Lawrence.
That's a great pick. Von Miller not going drafted at
He
any
got
point was
drafted.
surprised.
I took his footwork.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great call. Yeah, that's
So what does everyone have?
So, I have the speed of Micah Parsons, the power of Cameron Jordan, the body of Chase Young, the footwork of Brian Burns, and the run stuffing of Matthew Judon.
Yeah, that'll do the job.
That's probably the best one.
That's the GOAT.
Yeah. I have the speed of Montez Sweat, the power of Myles Garrett, the body of Khalil Mack, the footwork of Von Miller, and the run stuffing ability of John Franklin Myers.
Knott's fire too. Yeah.
I'll also do the job.
I have the speed of Joey Bosa, the power of Nick Bosa, the body of TJ Watt, the run stuffing of Trey Hendrickson, and the footwork of Josh Allen.
That'll also do the trick. I have the speed of Hassan Reddick, the power of DeMarcus Lawrence, the big old body of Daniil Hunter, the run stuffing of Brandon Graham, and the footwork of Max Crosby.
Yeah, it's also a really fucking good pick.
Matty Jace clears us, so I think.
I don't know.
I think so too.
I don't know how I feel about
I think you have the best one.
I don't know how I feel about the Matthew Judon pick, to be honest, but that's probably his strong suit.
I liked yours until you went Khalil Mack body. I feel like you
know.
could have gotten like a bigger boy.
He's
But
kind
you
of short,
Montez
right?
Sweat speed.
Khalil
with
Mack
Myles-
is like a unit though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Khalil's built like a truck.
Yeah.
I wanted to take either Max run stuffing or Brandon. I thought Brandon Graham was not even going to be mentioned, so I was like, oh, I'm
man.
saving this one.
Think I don't know ball?
And then I was like, bro, Brandon Graham's going to be an easy pick for run stuffing, but
Come on, man.
really took that out of me. Took that one off.
Yeah, I
But-
did.
Jesus
Took it
Christ.
right out of you.
Jesus. Anyways, I think that's everything.
That's everything.
That's everything.
All right, well,
Next time you guys see us, we'll be going over the Thursday night game and giving you guys all our picks for week 1.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
let's fucking go. Anyways, go check out the past video from yesterday. We gave all of our awards predictions, which is pretty much the other half of this entire thing, all of our predictions and all that stuff. So very fun episode. A lot of good takes there. A lot of interesting takes as well. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all those good things. Follow us on all of our socials, link in the description below. And with that,
Ball game, ball game,
That
ball game,
was
ball game,
ball
ball game,
game.
ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game.